Hey y'all, new day, new verse as we continue chapter 9, verses 9 through 13 today, the calling of Matthew. I know last time we were together I called him Levi. This is because in other versions of the word, Luke and Mark's account, he's originally called Levi and then his name becomes Matthew. I don't think Matthew himself points out the fact that his name used to be Levi in the gospel, because I think the part that we're going to dig in today kind of shows what his focus was really about. Here we go. As Jesus was walking along, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at his tax collector's booth. "Follow me and be my disciple," Jesus said to him. So Matthew got up and followed him. Later, Matthew invited Jesus and his disciples to his home as dinner guests, along with many tax collectors and other disreputable sinners. But when the Pharisees saw this, they asked his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with such scum?" When Jesus heard this, he said, "Healthy people don't need a doctor, sick people do." Then he added, "Now, go and learn the meaning of this scripture. I want you to show mercy, not offer sacrifices. For I have come to call not those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners." Because I think in this verse that he's trying to get to the core of the fact that Jesus welcomes everybody. The kind of environment that we're truly going to see Jesus move in. Not a museum of perfection, but a triage center of humanity's troubles. That Jesus comes to the sick, to those who know they are sinners, to those who know that without God setting it right, there is no being set right. Because there's nothing we can do. We're image bearers. We don't have the power. If any of that is given to us, it is given by God. Moments where we think we did it by ourselves, I would say no, you didn't. Not in any way, shape, or form. Moments like that, you were carried by God. And I know this from my own experience. I know what it looks like to be carried by God when you think you're making it, or people think you're making it, and at the end of the night, each night, you're bawling yourself up to sleep crying. We don't have the strength to make it on our own. But God is omnipresent, and He gives us the strength to make it because He cares for all of us. Even when we choose not to acknowledge Him, He still cares for us because we are His creation. Thinking about this verse, the Greek says tax collectors and sinners, whereas this translation says scum. And I think the use of scum works a bit better to get the idea across. Because tax collectors were basically co-conspirators. So you have these Pharisees that are going, why are you hanging out with people out to screw the Jewish people? Why are you hanging out with disreputable people who clearly have no interest in the law? And Jesus responds with, go figure out what this bit of Hosea means. What Hosea 6:6 means with, I desire mercy, not sacrifice. Because if we're walking with the Lord, if we're truly walking in the mercy we are shown, then we're merciful. He says it himself. He doesn't come for those who think they are righteous, but for those who know they are sinners. Yes, when we're saved, we no longer are designated as sinners, but we still sin. Ergo, we still sinners. We still need grace upon grace upon grace. We're saved. Absolutely, and that doesn't change. But to say that once we're saved, we stop dealing with sin, well, that would be hypocrisy and lie. Because we're in a broken world. We're broken image bearers. It's the nature of the thing. Water is wet. People break. Others themselves. But God doesn't come for those who think they're perfectly fine. He's here for those of us who know that we need Him, that know that without Him there is nothing, that know without His love in us, flowing through us, powering us, that we are living that kind of love. Without it, we are nothing. I would close with this brutal question that I think kind of needs to be asked more teaching to teaching, if your church doesn't look like a triage center where prostitutes, gamblers, degenerates, thieves, murderers, liars, the broken at the end of their rope who want salvation and hope, if they're not welcome in your church, I don't think Jesus is either. So as we close out today, I would ask this. When you go through life, do you think you're righteous? Or do you know you're a sinner that God sets right? Because God is the one who determines who is righteous. God is the one who said Abraham is righteous, He's the one who said Job is righteous. He's the one who determines that, not us. There's a reason that Jesus talked about on the Sermon on the Mount, if you're going to give a sacrifice to Yahweh, to God, and you remember that somebody has something against you, go and fix it. Because that's more important than offering a sacrifice on the altar. The relationship is more important. And as we continue to walk and grow, and there are moments where we think, oh yeah, I've made it. Check yourself, humble yourself, say, okay God, am I missing something? Because if we were truly fixed, I think we'd get raptured up like the way Elijah and the way Enoch did. I could be wrong. I'm still learning and digging into this stuff too. But that's the joy of it. That's the beauty of it. Getting to learn it. What it looks like to chase after God instead of chasing after the world. So when you feel like you're a broken sinner who can do nothing right, rejoice. Because that's where God is most. Let Him take the pain and let Him lead you anew. I will see you guys tomorrow as we continue for verses 14 through 17. I will see you then with a discussion about fasting. Be blessed. May His favor be upon you. And know that you'll make it because He's with you. I'll see you then.